welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Thuy. Please subscribe while you're at it. So in today's video, I'm going to be testing out a full face of Pat McGrath. I have heard so many things about her products. I know the prices are so crazy and I really wanted to put it to the test to see if it was worth it. I'm trying out the new foundation. I felt like everyone and their mama was talking about this foundation. So I finally got my hands on it. So we're testing it out today. I'm also trying out her eyeshadow palette as well as her lip glosses, her eyeliners and her highlighters. So if you guys want to know the tea on Pat McGrath and her products, please keep watching. Okay guys, so let's get started. As you guys can see, I look like a crazy woman right now. My hair is up in rollers and pin curls and stuff like that. I'm actually getting ready to go on a night out here. So I have been hearing so many things about Pat McGrath, and for the longest time she wasn't available to buy in the UK, but now she's available in Selfridges. So I did get sent some of the products in PR, but I am very much aware that her products are so expensive. So we're going to be trying it all out today. I'm going to tell you guys if it's all worth it. I know everyone's been talking about the new foundation, which I do have my hands on. I literally have one shade. I don't have the powder or the primer or the brush, so I'm just going to use what I have and tell you my first impressions and stuff like that. So this is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation, and I'm using the shade called Medium 15. So I do have to say that this packaging is very cute. I love the black and gold together. It looks very, very expensive, which it is, but I love the way that the packaging kind of folds up like this, like a little cigarette pouch, and the foundation sits very snugly inside the packaging, and this is the bad boy right here. Okay, so this foundation retails for £60, guys. I can imagine that's probably like $68, nearly $70 for this foundation. Someone told me that it's more of a natural coverage foundation, so I'm a little bit worried because your girl likes a full beat. So it does have a pump. I'm gonna do one pump here. Okay, I'm gonna apply it on this side of my face. Oh my god, this shade's too dark for me. No! It was so hard matching my foundation online, guys. Okay, guys, so I literally blended out the foundation just for the thumbnail, and look at this, guys. I literally look like a completely different race. Oh no, I picked out the completely wrong colour, guys. Like, medium 15, that sounds like a colour that I would normally be in all other brands, but this is definitely not a medium, girl. And also the undertone is very orange. But I do have to say that the foundation is very skin light. It is definitely quite a thin foundation. The coverage isn't amazing. It's almost like a tinted moisturizer, if I'm honest. I think this foundation is more targeted for people that want a really, really lightweight coverage. They want something that's going to be quite thin and very undetectable on the skin, which I definitely do see that when I blend this out, it kind of matches my forehead a bit more because my forehead's always darker, and it kind of looks like I've got no foundation on. Like, you can still see some of my pores, you can still see some freckles underneath. So I think if this was in the right colour, it would actually look really, really nice. I would definitely recommend to go into store, if you can, into Sephora, into Selfridges, and get yourself colour matched, because honestly, when I was looking online, 15 medium sounds like a shade that I would normally go for. So the fact that it's this dark, I'm just like, oh god, I would never normally click in the light section. So yeah, that's probably where I should have gone. I would normally class myself as like a proper like bang in the middle medium NC35, you know. This shade is definitely more like an NC42. Okay, so this is what the foundation looks like close up. Obviously, it is so not my colour. Look at this discoloration to my neck. Oh god, it looks crazy right now. But I'm gonna go in with some concealer and try to lighten this up. But it does look very skin-like, and it does kind of cover some blemishes. It's very similar to the Giorgio Armani Luminous Foundation, but a bit less glowy. Okay, so I'm gonna go in the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer in the shade Light 2.6. So this concealer is actually really light for me, so I feel like hopefully it's going to balance out this foundation. I'm going to try to blend this down really, really low, so the majority is basically light underneath the eyes. Concealer, honestly, can just fix a multitude of sins, guys. Okay, I'm going to grab my Juno sponge. I have a whole review on this $6 sponge. It's the best sponge of life. Pounce this underneath my eyes, and this is going to help fill in the pores as well because of the microfibers on the sponge, so it makes you look even more flawless. Who doesn't want to look flawless? I normally hate my under eyes looking so light. I find that I look really, really ashy, but I think for the foundation, you kind of need to bring up the ash a little bit. Okay, so I just looked at my skin in a completely different lighting, and I actually really like it. I think the concealer done a world of good, guys. I literally went to the other room and I told Grant, what do you think of this foundation? He was like, wow, it's full coverage. So thanks, NARS. Creamy Radiant Concealer always comes through. But he did say I had a big line of demarcation. It doesn't feel like it's slipping and sliding everywhere, which is a really good sign. Okay, so underneath my eyes, I need to powder. I am so gutted that I don't have the Pat McGrath powder to try it with the foundation, but I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I feel like this powder goes well with every single foundation, and it's really good if you've got oily skin. My skin is definitely becoming more oily now that I finished Accutane, so back to normal to oily skin type. Okay, so I'm just going to bake underneath my eyes. Using a little baby Juno sponge. Like, how cute is this? Tap this underneath my eyes just to set everything. I always need to make sure my makeup lasts for a long time. So this powder is always super trusty. Any creasing as well, I just literally dab over that. Okay, so I'm literally going to dab this onto my nose. This is where I like to bake. Just here, because it makes my nose look a bit slimmer. It kind of helps brighten up underneath the eyes as well. Just also on my chin. And then I kind of just carve out my cheekbones with some powder to give it more of an angular finish. Okay, so my brows are on. I have a whole tutorial on my brows because if I'd done it in the video, this video will honestly be like 45 minutes long. So I'm going to go with bronzer next. I haven't got any Pat McGrath bronzers, unfortunately. So we're going to go in with the Stalk'r Island Ting. So I'm just using a fluffy brush. I'm just putting this just around my hairline. I'm just going to contour my cheek just a little bit. Okay, so for highlighter, I actually have two different options. I have a highlighting stick and also the highlighting palette. This packaging is a bit crazy. I don't know what to think of it. It kind of looks a bit like a newspaper. So I'm going to open up the stick first. So it has this like piece of string. Then you open it up. Then inside here is the stick. So the stick fell out. Let's Google how much this is. This is £45 for this stick. So that's about like $55. Look what just happened. And also, can I just say, look at the amount of product that you get. Like, I thought you would get like double the amount. I actually don't know what to do. Do I just put it back in there? Okay, let's do a swatch. Let's keep the video going. Okay, so this is what the highlighter stick looks like. It's a bit wishy-washy. It's not really like my kind of shade that I would normally go for. I do like the packaging though. Like, I think it actually looks really, really nice and expensive. It reminds me of Tom Ford. And then on the other side, it has a balm. Okay, so this side didn't fall out. But this side is just like a glowy kind of balm. I think it can almost be like a lip balm, to be honest. Is it just like a glorified Vaseline? Okay, I'm actually so disappointed that the fact that this highlighter isn't even that shining, you know? Like, I don't know, can you see that? It kind of looks a bit ashy on my skin tone. Okay, so we're going to go in with the palette instead. Hopefully this won't fall apart on me. Okay, so we have 3 different highlighters in here. I actually quite like the fact that the packaging looks like this. I thought this is literally going to be like the box and then inside it'll have another box, but it's got this whole like contraption thing going on. So this is the 3 shades. We have one that's a bit more like a pinky kind of finish. Then we have one in the center which is a bit more golden. Oh, that is very gold. Jesus Christ. And then we have this shade right here, which I think will be amazing on deeper skin tones. That's what that looks like. This is the darkest one. Got the pink and then the gold. Okay, so I'm just going to buff away all of that bakage. Buff it into the skin. Don't waste the powder. Okay, so I'm using the Jeffree Star X Morphe JS22. It's a synthetic highlighting brush. Go in with that middle shade there. Oh shit, it looks like bright green on my fucking cheeks. Okay, I'm gonna mix a bit of gold in there maybe. Oh my goodness, this reminds me of like a dulled down version of Trophy Wife. I remember the first time I applied Trophy Wife from Fenty Beauty. It was all the rage, you know, everyone was going on about that highlighter, but it literally looked green like this on me. Okay, I'm gonna use the brush that I used earlier for my bronzer. So I'm gonna go with that pink shade, maybe put on as blusher. Oh my god, I'm gonna look like an alien when I leave this place. Hopefully you guys can see it. It looks like a light pink here. Oh, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to move on to eyes next. I'm going to put on an eyeshadow base because I don't think Pat McGrath even has an eyeshadow base. I'm going to go with P. Louise number 2. Okay, I'm just going to dab this base all over the eyes. This is kind of like a generic eyeshadow base just to make sure that I'm giving every palette that I try a fair chance. Okay, so for eyeshadow wise, I've got this big mama here, which I do have to say the packaging is fucking gorgeous. Like, look at that. She's crying gold tears. She's got bees on her damn lips and the visual just looks amazing. This is called the Mothership Bronze Seduction palette. But this palette here is £115. £115 for an eyeshadow palette. Ah! So again, it's got that kind of like string thing here. I don't know how I feel about this string. I feel like it makes it look a bit cheaper. I don't know. Ooh, there she is. Oh, it's heavy. It's very weighty. I do have to say though that the eyeshadow shades are on the back of this packaging. But if I'm honest, you're going to chuck away this packaging. So it's a bit of a shame that they didn't put it on the back of the palette. But the palette overall looks really nice and sleek. It's got gold at the back here. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, bitch. Is this worth £115? If I'm honest, no, because you can definitely find shades like this already from Morphe or from any other brands. But if you are looking to like splash a bit more cash, or if you are buying a present for someone, I do think the packaging looks amazing. It feels very, very heavy as well. We'll do some swatches. This shade here looks beautiful. Oh, it's got some glitter going on in there. Oh, this shade feels very smooth. This is like a greenish kind of gold shade. We've got a really nice bronze here as well. Oh, this one's not as pigmented. We've got this big red here, which actually looks really pretty. That's a really nice shade. This palette actually really reminds me of Jackie Aima's palette from ABH, because it's got that kind of cranberry shade, it's got some purple, it's got bronze in here, it's got like a greeny kind of goldish shade. Just saying! Let's do some swatches. Oh, that shade is beautiful. I definitely have to use that today. So does that colour. This is like the greeny kind of browny shade. And then we've got a bronze here. That bronze is not as pigmented as I thought it would be. Like, for the price you're paying for that, you expect that to be super buttery, but it's kind of bitsy. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this shade right here. It's like a deep brown, and I'm just going to blend this into my crease. It doesn't have too much fallout. It's falling out a little bit, but let's see how it blends on the eye. Okay, so I'm going to pop this right inside my crease here. I thought it would be like a light transition kind of shade, but it's actually fucking dark. I don't know how I'm going to blend this into my skin tone again, because I normally like to use a transition shade inside the crease, but this shade is already quite dark, girl. I definitely feel like that palette needs a transition shade, because otherwise, how else are we going to blend, bitch? Okay, so I'm just kind of like buffing this out onto my crease. This is just using that one shade as well. It's actually blended out quite nicely. So I'm going to go in with this darker brown, just on the tip of my brush, and I'm going to use it at an angle. Oh, that's a really nice colour, that is very pretty. I love deep browns like that. It just literally looks almost like black, but it's not black, you know. I think this shade would be really good like for people who don't like to wear dark eyeliners, but you still want that depth and definition. So having a shade like that is just like so pretty. Okay guys, so this is what the eyeshadow looks like on. It was really, really hard actually blending out the eyeshadow because I haven't got no transition shade. It was like blending the dark into another dark shade. I feel like personally it looks kind of muddy. Maybe this palette was designed to be on more of a deeper skin tone, but yeah, for my skin tone I just feel like there's so many other nicer browns out there. I'm so tempted to go in with my other eyeshadow palette and just like, but you know, I can't do that because this is the Pat McGrath review, you know. Saying that, I'm gonna go in with a bit more eyeshadow base and I'm gonna carve out my lid a little bit. I'm not gonna do like a cut crease or anything like that, but I felt like the dark eyeshadow was kind of going down a bit too much on my eyelid, so I'm just gonna bring back a bit more lightness on my lid. Okay, so now for the eyeshadow, I'm gonna go in with this mama right here. This was the colour that really got me excited. It's actually very pretty. It looks quite bitsy though, so hopefully on the eyelid it looks okay. Oh, it's so pretty. So inside of the palette it actually looks quite white, but when you put it on, it's quite like a greenish gold. And because it's a bit bitsy, it kind of feels a little bit like a glitter. So I'm trying to like blend out the glitter a little bit so that it kind of like fades out. So it's not like a harsh line because I don't want it to look like a cut crease. I want it to look really soft and faded on my eyelid. Okay, I'm going to grab a little bit of this shade right here, this greeny kind of shade. And I'm just going to pat some on top, just between where this brown and then the gold meets. Just want to add a bit more of a different flair on things. Does it just look like a shimmery mess? I don't know. It's giving me quite a lot of fallout as well, so to blend that out. So I'm going to go in this purpley shade here. A little bit of this brown as well. And I'm going to go right below my lash line. I want it to be really, really smoky. So I'm going to blend this all out so that the top and the bottom matches. Okay, so I've been blending underneath my eyes for a good 10 minutes. It was actually so hard to blend out. I don't know, it's because I didn't have an eyeshadow base, but the dark pigment wouldn't stick on. So I had to keep blending out and then patting on the pigment again, blending it out. It was a nightmare. I do have a Pat McGrath eyeliner we're going to be trying out. It's a glide on eye pencil. Remove the little string. Oh, it comes with a sharpener as well. Okay, so I'm going to put this on my bottom lash line. I'm going to see if it glides on. It does glide on nicely. I would say it is black. I don't know if it's the blackest eyeliner that I've tried. It does glide onto the waterline really well. It doesn't tug or anything at the waterline, which is good. I just feel like it could be a bit blacker. Like I have to keep going over it to make sure that it's really black and not a dark grey. Okay, and then I'm going to go also on my top lash line. I'm going to do like a smoky kind of liner. So I'm trying to kind of like hold my mirror down and I'm tapping on the eyeliner. I'm also going to do some tight lining as well. Okay, so I just finished off my eyes with some lashes. These are Mykonos from Lily Lashes. It has been such a long time since I haven't done a winged liner. Okay, so it's time for lips now. I have two different lip glosses here. One is called Dare to Bear and one is called Love Potion. So I'm going to look at Love Potion first, which is like a really light nude. Kind of just looks like a sheer gloss though, if I'm honest. And then this is Dare to Bear. This one's a bit more peachy. Still very sheer though, guys. Okay, so I haven't got a Pat McGrath lip liner, so I'm going to go in with the Morphe Love Bite lip liner. I love these Morphe lip liners, guys. They're so good. They're so cheap as well. Line my bottom lips. This lip liner is so creamy, it's amazing. And then I'm just going to use a lip liner on the side and just fill in the rest of my lips. Okay, so I just lined up my lips and I'm going to go in with a shade called Love Potion. It's the lighter one out of the two. And this is the doe foot applicator. It's quite like a nice size. Hopefully it's like really nice and glossy. I always compare lip glosses to Fenty Gloss Bomb. That's like my favourite lip gloss ever. This one's actually really nice and glossy. I find it really hard to find a glossy lip gloss, guys. Very glossy and juicy. Okay, so I'm going to quickly take out my hair. Crazy hair right here. And then I'll be back. Okay, guys, so that's it for my full face of Pat McGrath. Overall, I think the makeup turned out really nicely. I felt like the highlighter definitely let down this look. I felt like my skin doesn't look as luminous as I would have liked it because of the highlighter. The foundation actually I think is really, really nice. I know for some people this foundation is a hit and miss. Definitely for me, if I got the right colour match, I would definitely wear this foundation quite often. It will probably be like an everyday foundation for me. Although the price is so expensive, I love the way that it looked on the skin. It definitely didn't make my pores look enlarged. It didn't settle into my fine lines. Even now as well, I don't feel like I look overly shiny or overly matte. In an ideal world, I would love to try this foundation with the matching powder and the primer as well, but I haven't got my hands on those products yet. So if you guys want me to film with those products, let me know down below in the comment section. Maybe I can get my hands on it. I can film like a round 2 version, or I'll try it out in another video. The eyeshadow palette is nice. I don't think it's worth the price, if I'm honest. You can probably get a very, very similar finish using other eyeshadow palettes. For example, the Jackie Aina palette I felt like was a really, really good dupe for this eyeshadow palette. The lip gloss is nice, but I do feel like it's separating a little bit on my lips. You can see all my lines and stuff. So it is a really glossy lip gloss, but you can get lip glosses from anywhere, honestly. I would definitely not recommend the highlighting stick, especially for the price. It just fell out, and even the shade wasn't even that nice. And also the highlighter palette, I feel like it's too greeny. There's quite a lot of shades that wouldn't really go for a lot of skin tones, and it's quite expensive for what it is as well, so I probably would skip on that as well. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you guys know I always try to be as honest as I can when it comes to these videos, even if the items were sent to me, you know. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my full face of Pat McGrath. I have so many other videos like this. I've done a full face of Fenty, Huda Beauty, Makeup Revolution, Primark, Poundland. I have so many more videos you guys can check out, so make sure you guys are subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys, enjoy the bloopers. I'm trying to buy the new iPhone, guys. Wish me luck! Woohoo! I managed to get an iPhone in the first batch, bitch. It's coming on the 20th of September.